Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. How are you guys doing? Today I want to talk about a topic that I've been seeing a lot throughout my YouTube page, which is the red pill. But first I had to search with myself, what is all this thing about? This is basically all related to the movie The Matrix.
You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
So, this whole thing of red pill has to do with taking basically the red pill and realizing the whole truth without living in ignorance, or the opposite. You decide to take the blue pill and you will live in ignorance, but you will be happy. So what do you choose at the end of the day? But the problem here is they took this too far and they decided to create a whole new type of red pill stuff that at the end of the day doesn't have nothing to do with this. Because let's be real, you have to watch this.
There is no evidence that having sex with a lot of women translates into an ability to understand women in the context of a committed relationship or longevous relationship. There is no evidence of that. So for this is where the red pill makes a lot of claims, assertions, but they're not backed, because the idea is, I feel like there's just ad hoc justifications and rationalization for hedonism, which is effectively just doing whatever you want and whatever you desire.
So Brother Hijab did a really good claim right there. He was saying that, of course, if you're going out with a lot of women, you're sleeping with a lot of women, you won't connect with them, of course. That's just a lie you tell to yourself. That's a lie you tell to yourself to find an excuse to be with a lot of women. Because of course, you're also promiscuous. Because why do you say stuff about women? Why do you judge women when they're going with a lot of men, when you yourself, you're going with a lot of women? So I can absolutely say the same stuff about you, because who do you think you are? You think you are the king or something? You can be with a lot of women and that's it? Of course, a woman that is high value is not going to notice this type of man. This type of man would like to be with a high value woman, but this high value woman would never ever look at this type of man, because she knows her worth. She won't go with any type of man who's been there with a lot of women, because that's basically a second-hand man. That's being used. So why would I want myself a second-hand man? If I didn't go out with men, I at least want someone that is like me or better. Like, because I don't understand the claim they say that, oh my god, like the body count is not the same for men and for women. Because in the case of men, if you have a high body count, you were basically seen as someone with experience. But in the case of women, they're seen as low value women. So I don't agree with that as a Muslim woman at all. But let's continue.
But really, like, let's assess this claim, the claim that if you have sex with a lot of women, that's going to lead to you knowing women more and therefore having a stronger relationship, more longevous relationship with some kind of woman. But it doesn't seem to me that there's any evidence to that effect, because I was looking at some studies on casual sex, yeah, and I was looking at, there's like 5 or 6 of them that have been done, and all of those studies, first of all, they're mixed, they're contradictory, funny enough. Some of them say that, yeah, they harm women. Actually, most of them say they harm women. Casual sex harm women. That is a consensus psychological finding.
It harms men too, a lot of these studies, but
yes, some of them say it harms men, some of them say it doesn't harm men.
Yeah,
there's no study that says it helps them in relationships. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course not. And they would never run a study like that because it would be considered unethical, right? And we know that, when they run these studies, they have to be politically correct. They got to get funding. They have to do it in a certain way to get the blessing. But what I will say is with the whole body sleeping with women or whatever it may be, it's not necessarily to understand women better. It's to understand the women that you don't want to necessarily be with. And I think that's half the game, because what ends up happening, right, in a Remember, I mean, you're in the UK, so you know this too. I mean, the UK is going through this as well. We live in a very hypersexualized world where women are more promiscuous than ever before. So my thing is, right, I look at it like, and I was just having a discussion with Andrew. He's a devout Orthodox Christian, and he saw my perspective on this too. If you're gonna try to meet a woman in the West where they are promiscuous, they don't necessarily adhere to gender roles when it doesn't benefit them. They want a man that makes money, but they don't.
So my advice for you guys is apply what you say, what you do. So if you're a person who's going out with a lot of women, don't pretend you're going to find a woman who's willing to be with you because you've been with a lot of women. But if you're a man that respects yourself, that knows your high value without the need of being with a lot of women, because I think that the men that go out with a lot of women are the lowest value men I've ever seen in my entire life. And they be claiming stuff like, we're not simps or whatever. Wallahi, in my eyes, you're worse than a simp. Like, not gonna lie, like, you're worse than a simp.
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
Because first of all, you don't respect God. Because you just, it doesn't matter if you're a Christian, if you're a Buddhist, if you're a Muslim, whatever. We all know that in all of these religions, it is haram to go out with, to sleep with other men, with other women, out of marriage. So you just did there. You did that firstly. So you just committed a big sin right there. Secondly, you expose it to the whole world. Thirdly, you feel proud of that sin and you think you're high value. Who are you laughing at? Who are you laughing at? Yeah, that's why you have to be careful with what you say, because at the end of the day, life is going to do the same thing you did. Life is going to get it back to you. You know, the same thing you give, you will get. Period.